Mr. President, I don't know wittingly or unwittingly, when you were answering the question about our relationship with the USA, not once have you mentioned DERCO or Minister of International Relations. And this is as a result of you having met Elon Musk during the UN General Assembly and knowing very well the views of Elon Musk about South Africa, racist, white supremacist views about South Africa, which led to you meeting him because you thought you were going to clarify those issues. Unrepentant racist became emboldened and then made more bad remarks about South Africa even after meeting you physically. You still saw a need to go outside the diplomatic channels and made a contact with an individual, not using diplomatic relations or mechanism within which we resolve diplomatic disputes as South Africa. Don't you think you individually have emboldened white people to undermine us, and you have single-handedly destroyed the diplomatic relations of South Africa with other countries, and you have destroyed and juniorized the Department of International Relations? Mr. President. And le swantjele tsebe gore nto ya go bolela le ditsotsi tša go tshwana le bo Elon Musk go re taletša ka bana ba makgowa. And worse, Elon Musk, you organized a meeting with him or that telephone conversation through his immoral father, politically, economically, and otherwise. A man who has engaged in business in South Africa through illegal means, even when he has admitted to do so. Those are the type of characters you can't speak to. Imagine, Mr. President, had they said Donald Trump called the Guptas during that time. What were you going to say? You are going to say that Guptas are an independent state actor. You are not going to say that. You are going to feel undermined. And that's exactly what you have done. What are you saying about established practices of resolving issues in a diplomatic way and diplomatic channels in South Africa? Do you have a full confidence in the Minister of DERCO and the department itself? You speak about an ambassador in Washington or New York. That ambassador belongs to the Department of International Relations. Instead of talking about international relations, leadership, and the department, you talk about ambassador. But when you talk about DRC, you talk about Minister of Defense is doing 1, 2, 3. You don't say ambassador in DRC is doing 1, 2, 3. Thank you very much.
They should have asked him that question. He's preoccupying himself with the internal affairs of South Africa. What's he after? What does he want from us? Instead, they go there and ask him for help. They say we're a crime-ridden society, we need help, we need drones, we need this, that, and that. South Africa makes drones. We don't need to go to the Americans to be given drones. We make drones.
So when Johan Rupert speaks about Starlink, that it must be at every police station in the country, was that the ground being prepared for that?
I have no idea what that was all about. Why do we need Starlink? We have our own telecommunications systems in South Africa. We have huge cellular phone companies in South Africa. They can set up a telecommunication system for the police stations if they don't have one. But I'm sure our police stations have their telecommunication system. We don't need to go and ask the Americans for one.
It seems, though, especially when you look at the police's budget currently, there's a chunk of it, right, about 80% of it being spent on personnel, and then you're looking at another portion being spent on administration. One wonders, though, how much of that is available to spend towards crime-fighting efforts in the country. So maybe, if I'm listening to what you're saying, it's time to rethink priorities in that order and stop going outside of the country to try and get more money.
Well, exactly. You see, but this is to do with management of government departments of South Africa. It's got nothing to do with money, with technologies from Elon Musk. It's how to manage a department of the country, a crime-fighting department, which is the police.
So before the South African delegation left for the US, I was in conversation with the presidency spokesperson, Vincent Makwenya, who was saying that the US has what South Africa needs and South Africa has what the US needs as well. The relationship has been mutually beneficial and all of that, and it's time now to reset these particular relations. Do you think that performance in the Oval Office got that message of resetting and also trying to ensure that you reimagine this relationship? It made it get lost in translation somewhere.
Yeah, because the president's office and the president and his spokespeople, they haven't explained to us why does our relationship with the United States need resetting. We have over 600 American companies. Many of them have been here for decades. Ford Motor Company has been here for decades and decades. Why does it need a reset relationship between South Africa and the United States? They haven't explained that. It's because they are falling into Trump's propaganda. And they think Trump's propaganda is something we have to answer to. But they are trying to be polite. Trump is making propaganda. He has a plan for South Africa. He has targeted certain social groups which he wants to use for his agenda. You don't need to reset anything. There's no need to reset our relationship with the United States. Our trade relationship with the United States is working fine. We have 600 or more American companies. Go to them and ask them, is your economic relation in South Africa, are you making a profit? And if you are making a profit, why do we need to reset relations with the United States government? Because we're dealing with people to people of the United States. They have their companies here.
Is it not perhaps because of the remarks that would have been made in the public domain, and then the Liberation Day tariffs as put out, and also how some were saying that it seems, even with the developments in the Middle East, particularly in Israel, it seems that this relationship is maybe at an all-time low or hitting rock bottom, according to some. So that could have potentially been the reason why they thought, let us go and possibly try to reset it. How do you think they should have then dealt with it? Ignore the propaganda?
No, you can't. You have to tackle the propaganda head on. But they didn't. They didn't tackle Trump's propaganda. Trump has been bad-mouthing our country. They didn't tackle the propaganda he's making against others. Instead, they were on the defensive. So they should have taken Trump head-on about the propaganda and why he's bad-mouthing South Africa. We have companies from his countries which are operating and making money in South Africa, but he's trying to cause trouble in our relationship between our two countries. Why is he causing trouble in the relationship between South Africa and the United States? They should have asked him that.
So was it enough, in your view, to fix things, or is it the first step possibly towards a much more deeper engagement as far as bilateral relations are concerned?
Well, we have to understand. You see, if we don't understand what Trump's agenda is, then there's nothing you can fix because you don't know what the problem is. If you ask our government today, what is the problem between the United States and South Africa? Why is the President of the United States bad-mouthing South Africa and sending out propaganda about genocide, about expropriation? Why is he doing that? They can't tell you. They won't be able to because they are not doing their homework. They're not doing their homework, analyzing what is behind, what are Trump's objectives.